All right, what's going on YouTube? Just gonna go through these patch notes. I already read some of it, and they have some interesting choices here. You've probably seen other people talking about them already. You've probably seen their thumbnails. I've seen some of their thumbnails. There's quite a bit of nerfs to a lot of the free to play friendly units in this. But let's go ahead, scroll it down. Pretty much the first thing, there's doing new SSR Animus. It's this chick, Mio. She basically does, if I remember correctly, she does what Kraken does, but better, which is probably why he got a nerf, because they want to incentivize people pulling this unit. That's my opinion, but Kraken was pretty strong, so they probably just nerfed him just because. And then they have, I guess this is Mizuki Makoto. But when you read it here, it says it's a defensive supporter wielding a dispel as her spear, counterattacks as her shield. Wielding a dispel as her spear and counterattacks as her shield. So I guess she dispels. She's a dispeller. But I mean, she got these big ass gauntlets. It's all right. But she is a SR unit, so should be easy to pick up. Then you have the United Front thing. This is guild. This is guild v guild. Basically, it's a guild based game. You want to be in a guild. But unless you're probably in a very competitive guild, every week you're probably just going to get your ass beat by whales. I'm be real. Uh, Basically, this is how you get guild shit. This is what it looks like. I guess you just click into this, fight your people, and then go about your day. This is a new event, the shell story thing. I guess it's to help you get more, I guess, resources for your shells, I would assume. Doesn't really say much, but I'm going to assume that's what it's for. Then you can do 7 wishes. Like as you see here, there's a little wish orb. So when you get to it, you can just make a wish here. Prismatic wish machine. No, these are different. Use prismatic chips. Don't know how you get those. I would assume you have to spend some type of currency to get them or do something in the game. It's not much about this. So we're just gonna go over it again. So these are the main things that they adjusted here. The limited summon from 100 to 80. Your pool history can now be looked at differently. A Hydra voucher is basically available in the shop, which is basically for people who pay. The protection for the summon arena. So basically, different people have different times that their dailies reset. So people work on making a big storm about it on Discord. So they decided to push the time for 15 days. So you can only basically be fought against people in your own region. And then this ban protection. So basically, you can pre-ban an Animus, and then this is for RTA thing. This is mainly like Summit Arena. Basically, is like if you're free to play, you're gonna be. I'm just gonna say you're gonna be struggling. And then they got some other stuff here. This is not too crazy. You can share upon the first Animus, French keyboard layout, cross region friend and private messaging, language selection during union creation. So I guess if you want to do like a different language, like French only or something. The Infinity Train, basically you can leave early and get all your rewards. And then I don't think I did Ember Tracker as in Echoes. But the anti-sync echoes I think is the main PvE thing where you like go to test your team. So it just gives clearance times and team comps. So you can just copy it if you have the units. These I don't care too much about, but because they're skins, mainly for people who pay, to my knowledge. There's a few skins that you can get from doing good in PvP and getting farther in the story, but other than that, most of the skins are paid skins. And then here you go. This is what the whole fuss was about. Balancing PvE and PvE or PvE and PvP. So basically when you go to 5 and 6 star, you're going to get essentially 10 points of speed because you get one on 5 and one on 6. And then you got the specific ones. So Chloros, pretty sure he was in there. Basically, it's saying that these affect the final changes at skill level 5. But I'm telling you, for these SSRs, getting skill level 5 is very difficult. So ultimately, it's still a nerf. And buffs to these guys. Chloros, I'm pretty sure, was highly used. Unless this is the one that they didn't put out yet. There's one of these ones that wasn't in the beta, but I heard it got pretty buffed. But instead of they do red as buffed and green as nerfed, which kind of confused me when I read it. But he got a buff on his skill 3, which is his ultimate. Buff damage. I think he was pretty good anyways. Veronica, I think I had this unit, but she got a buff on her skill 3, which is her ultimate as well. So it's 80% chance to steal and then 100% chance to spread the buffs. So basically if you steal the buff, you're going to spread it to all your allies now. And then it's soul wards. It used to be 50%, now it's 100. Mia, I'm pretty sure this was a lot pretty common used. This isn't the one they just put out, right? Mio Constant. No, I think this is the one that was already in the game. Yeah, I think this is a different one. But skill cooldown reduced and then heal ally increased for her ultimate. Don't know how to pronounce her name. I'm not even going to try. But she got a little buff from 80% to 90%. And then this is the one that I've seen a lot of people say that free to play players should try to pick up. This is Tiamat. This is who I was going to go for, but I probably won't anymore. Thunder Spear. Instead of recovering 30%, you're only going to get 10% of her maximum health. And then Bloodbath got reduced by 1%. She dies very easily. At least mine did, and I had full HP set because all her skills basically use HP. So you were basically relying on this Thunder Spear when you reach the ultimate form to give you this big chunk of health back. Uh, I don't know why they nerfed this so far. I think that that's a bad idea. This is probably going to be very, very bad for Tiamat because her literal whole kit is spend HP to do damage and then get all the HP that you spent back when you switch to your ultimate. And now it doesn't look like you're going to be able to do that anymore. I don't think I had this unit, but they got a buff from their skill 1 and skill 3. So pretty much overall buff. Ling Lu didn't have this unit either. But they got a buff as well for their skill 1. Rosa, this is another one that I've seen people say to pick up. She's a blue unit. You basically just get like farm these crits and she just like one shots people. But I guess she got a nerf to her turn back meter by 2% on her skill 1, which being able to steal somebody's or push back turn meter is very good in PvE, especially PvP. So that might wind up hurting her in PvP. Probably not though, because From what I saw, Rosa was just used to one-shot teams. So this guy's got a buff. There's a lot of buffs, but a lot of the main people that people use during the beta, they got nerfs, which I think is funny. No, this is who it is, Kloss. So basically, she got this lower speed reduced, I guess taken away, but she does apply the speed down on her S3. Freya, one of the first limited units. Uh, I don't know what it was initially, but it got pushed back to 70%. I think it was 100%. It doesn't say. Turnadot. I don't know who this. I think this is an SR unit. Pretty sure this is an SR unit that they used to. Oh yeah, it's a turn meter one. Nerfed SR unit. Not really what you want to see. Illusions Reality Chiaki. I'm pretty sure this is also an SR unit. But she got a buff. Pretty sure she heals though. So she got a buff as a healer. I don't really think she needed it, but Dena, I think that's how you pronounce her name. She was used on my team. I was gonna basically level her up. She got nerfed as well. So 40% chance to steal the turn meter, but it only goes 15%. Fights 25, and then also another reduce in her own. So basically, when you do this crit, it pushes your turn meter up, and it got nerfed as well. Kraken got nerfed. You hate to see it. Because he was very useful to me. And I basically spammed his S3. Well, I didn't spam his S3, but I always use his S3, and then it was very reliable for freezing. Now, reduced by 10% and 10%. So it's a 10% less chance to push back the turn meter, and that by 30% from 35%, and a 50% chance to apply freeze. You hate to see that. Santa, pretty sure people were telling everybody to use this healer. This is another SR. Cause yeah, this is the normal version. She got nerfed. Marvel. Everybody was telling people to pick up Marvel. He got nerfed. Victor was used in a one-shot build for easily clearing like the hell mode of the like crit build boss where like it drops the crit build gear. Nerfed. Dorothy, this is just a fix. She wasn't casting it apparently. Research number 41, nerfed. This is another SR. So basically, all the useful SRs that they had from here down, all the useful SRs got nerfed. So I don't know how people are gonna. I don't know what people are gonna be telling people to roll for. I would assume they're gonna still say fuck it, even though they're nerfed. Roll for the units anyways, because there's nobody better. Because there's very few units that do what these units did. So pretty sure people are just gonna keep telling people to roll for them, even though they just got nerfed. Then you go on to the shells. Nerfed White Fang. You hate to see it. Nerfed Artisan. You hate to see it. These really didn't get touched. Twilight Knight got nerfed. You hate to see it. So I'm pretty sure. I know for a fact White Fang and Twilight Knight, they're epic. They're uh, gold quality, and you can get them fairly early. And the damage that they put out was very useful. But now, uh, I mean, they got nerfed. Apparently, they were doing too much damage. Diamond Heart, nerfed. So apparently, it looks like all these pretty good mid game animuses just got or not animuses, all these good mid game shells they all got nerfed. You hate to see it. Uh, and then this is nothing really of note here. Just fixing issues. Fixing issues. Basically saying that they're going to be telling you clearly what's going on here. Uh, just optimization stuff and leaderboard stuff. Champions Call, I'm pretty sure this is leaderboard stuff. Oh, this is the betting thing. Oh, yeah. There was a lot of issues with that. Uh, Pretty much the rest of the stuff is just optimizations. Nothing really too crazy. Main quest is just optimization stuff, is what it looks like. Union adjustments. Nope. Chat, I really wish they would have put in here that you could just close the chat permanently if you didn't want it on, but I guess they're not going to do that. I think that it would be nice just to hide chat permanently, but unless I'm too blind to see it right here. Continuous battle. There was an issue where sometimes you would just lose. So they said they fixed it. Shop adjustments you can sort via rarity. None of this other stuff is really of note. At least for me. Because they didn't really change a lot of the stuff that I wanted them to change. Which was like being able to just hold hold your mouse down and click a mouse. Nah, I'll probably just take that out, but I do have an issue with the nerfing. So many companies have done this before where they slap all these nerfs either right before the game comes out or right on the big first patch. I think that that's a terrible way for companies to do balances. If these guys are so strong, if these units are so strong that you need to nerf them, but yet you do not give me any unit that does a similar job to them and bring them up. So basically, if you're just doing mass nerfs but no buffs, but the people are gonna be like, "Oh, but look, they buff like Chiaki, they buff Claws, they buffed Lilith, they buffed all these guys." These units were like they had like very specific roles. Like Tiamat was essentially a tank that could sit there tank all this damage because she has a taunt. She could tank all this damage and then heal it back. These guys don't do that. These guys don't do that. Now you're basically saying this tank that we put in the game now is going to get less health back, has to spend health to use all her abilities, and she gets less healing received. Doesn't make any sense. You to me this looks like you just essentially just killed this character. So where's her replacement? Like what is going on here? I don't understand why companies want to just mass nerf people. The game's not even out yet. I understand some of these guys like Dina, Kraken, Sania, Marvel, Victor. These guys were literally all used, even Dorothy. All these guys were used to help free to play players push through the game. And now what it's going to look like to people is they're going to be like, "Oh, well you just nerfed all the good SR units that are easy to acquire and some of them you just get just right off the rip. So you're just basically telling free to play players to go suck your dick." It's not a good look by the company. Not a good look. Not a great starting off. I will say that uh, because it already sets a precedent that you're just going to nerf whatever is powerful and leave people pretty much with, oh, well, I built this character, you know, 3 days ago, and now there's a hotfix out that just nerfs my character that I spent all these resources in. Now, what am I supposed to do? It's not looking like a good precedent. Many companies have tried this little nerf fiesta, Path of Exile, World of Warcraft. Those are two main ones that are always in the news for doing shit like this. It just is not a good look for your players. It's not a good look. But you know, that's the way they wanted to do it. I think that they're. I don't think that it's a great predicament to kind of set yourself up because there's already some other issues in the game that weren't addressed in this patch, and now you have this little patch notes come out, and you're telling basically, hey, those guys that you used during the beta, yeah, they're all nerfed now. That's just it's an interesting play that they did. But I guess we'll have to see how it unfolds. The game comes out in 3 days, and even though they said it's like a skill 5 thing, skill level 5, yeah, at max skill rank, these SSRs like Chloros, Veronica, just getting one of their skills to rank 5 is already a challenge. So I guess luckily they told everybody that they nerfed that shit because now most people aren't even going to waste their gold resources, which are very hard to acquire for free to play people. If you're paying, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, I'll be real here. If you're gonna spend on the money, these buffs and nerfs they don't matter to you because you're probably just gonna get the full roster of people. You're gonna get Messiah. You're gonna dunk the whole content with Messiah, and then when the next character comes out, you're gonna get that next character, and it's gonna be all fine and dandy. But for people that really aren't gonna pay to play the game, I mean, taking away somebody that pretty much clears the story content with no issue. Like you can run Tiamat, Freya, Dina, and Kraken, and you literally can just roll through the story with no problems. Luckily, they didn't do it, but I didn't see any nerfs for either. But Le- Leanne, Leanne, the initial unit they give you, at least she didn't get any nerfs, but she also didn't get any buffs. So at least you have like at least one SSR that's they feel is strong enough because she can also just carry you through the campaign as well. Plus, you have the whole event to get her, like to get her skills up and to get her level up and to get her shell up and all this stuff. I just don't like that they. I don't know. I don't like that they just. This is a pretty heavy nerf. This is 20%. 20% healing, and then just 1% healing increase. That shit adds up over time. I don't think that this was a good idea. I think that they're gonna face a lot of backlash for this, but it probably won't matter. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. But if this is just gonna be a every patch notes is nerfing the strongest out there and not bringing anything else in line, then I don't know how long this game will last. I think they're gonna keep doing it because it's a PvP focused game, and with PvP balance, it's PvP balance. PvP is normally never balanced, but the companies that try are probably just gonna be on the nerf train. But yeah, that's my thoughts about this. Yeah.